so it happens.
Yes,
you know, you gotta just take that one with a grain of salt. But here we go. This is it. Clean slate for Euphoria. Can they make the upset happen?
I think one major factor is the fact that we have had a day in between. If this was, you know, losing to True Neutral 4-0 and then instantly in,
yeah,
I think this might have been a little bit worse here for Rebel, but they've had that time to sort themselves out, figure out what they want to do, and I'm sure what they want to do is the typical thing that we get from South America, quick gameplay. Make sure you really stamp your authority here in game number one. One thing that we have seen a lot over these past few games and these past few matches is a lot of loitering players in the midfield. They become target people for that launching midfield or backboard clear. And we've just seen it just tapped on, become a lot more dangerous for the defending team. Speaking of dangerous, Pan, you want to avoid it, but he's managed to recover himself. Well, we'll claim the first touch was a 2 out of 10. The second one was an 8.
What an absolute madman. He's just baited in the offense, making them think that he's lost control. Maybe it was part of his plan. Oh, there's actually a third man there. Yeah, it was you know, momentary open net. Third man being very careless here. I think it might have been Pan again. He's in Wonderland right now. He's just he's in his own little world over there. He's doing his own thing.
We're not going to tell him not to, all right? He's having a great time. None of it has gone against him, which I'm sure he'll be very happy with. Looking to just put off the far side. Bruno was around, though, as a potential infield passing option. Instead, they're just going to keep taking shots. Astromic will finally get a bit of space. A launched one, and Pan. Oh, he's got back at far too late. And he drifted away from his own net. I don't know what he was after.
Yeah, he may not have expected that shot to be on target, but he has to cover that option. It is possible for there to be a shot flying at the net there. Very possible when you've got an attacker coming in at that angle. So yeah, you should have just considered that possibility. He didn't, and he's been punished for it. Now Brunovisky almost caught in the same position. The third man, you know, positioning has been careless for both teams. Now actually, Fassi had an open net, but it's going to get saved. Yeah, if he just dropped that a bit lower earlier, that was a goal.
Here's Fassi one more time. Off the backboard, almost managed to find the car of Jan. Instead, Bruno will find himself all alone. Double tap attempted, not going to find it, but it's another one straight over. Fassi looking to get rid. We are not seeing tame Rocket League on display so far today. And expected to very much follow this pattern throughout the entirety of today's broadcast. Astromic wants to leave it for Snipes. Will be challenged mid-air, but it's well won. Brunovisky wants to call in Pan. Snipes, that's not well caught, but he did have Jan in midfield to just help it on. And now Brunovisky's completely mistouched it. Well, this game is now partially what your skill level is and majorly how you're dealing with the nerves on the day.
Yeah, it's great work by Bruno eventually to clear this, but it's been a struggle for them to clear the ball. Just, they're making life difficult on themselves. Euphoria not making anything easy with their positioning in third man, and actually Jan is pretty far away from this, but he will get back to challenge. It's been a very, very open game here. You know, the clears haven't been battering the backboard. They've been falling short, but still going over the top of the last defender. You know, there's been so much space to play in. Attempts to pass and play with Fassi, but looks like his teammates at a boost, so he has to make another play on the ball himself. Early pre-jump from Bruno sends the ball back onto the orange net, and you know, shooting has just been a priority here. And I don't blame either team for just taking plenty of shots, given how uncomfortable defenders have looked in game one up until now.
Well, especially given how you can just take a shot from your own side of the field and there might not be a goalkeeper there.
Yeah.
I think it's caught out of both teams a few times now where they've put off the backboard and then suddenly realized, oh, we could have actually just scored from this. Otherwise, still just one goal is the difference as we head into the final minutes. And a game that really does not feel like it should only have one goal. Both teams are struggling to create right now. Fassi just tapped it back over to Jan. It was a dangerous touch from him. Pan works the ball out. Jan once again, who's just danced over everyone, and his teammate came in to put off the crossbar. It was just a layup. They won't be worried about it. Oh, dearie me. 2-0 to Rebel.
Well, I don't know if Fassi had that, but Yeah, Snips definitely saved it. It was just going in from the air dribble, but he sends it into the bar for Astromik to score. So maybe that was just part of the plan, is you don't want Jan to be carried too much. You want to give him another goal. He really stole the show in the upper bracket yesterday with 2 flip resets in 1 game. Now, man, just off target with a dunk shot. It's been exactly the start the Rebel have wanted in terms of results, and now they're really putting together some great plays. It should have been a hat-trick there for Jan, had his previous shot not been saved by his own teammate. What a beautiful goal that is. Another confident double touch from South America.
They've gone from only scoring 1 goal against True Neutral. They've got 3 already here in game number 1. Rebel looking very, very good here. I'm sure they'll want to try and fix things up defensively, but hey, it's a defense that still hasn't conceded just yet. I'll say that.
Yeah, just clip that.
Use my powers for good here, Johnny. I'm trying to make it interesting.
Put it in the Shogun caster reel. Perfect. Very good timing on that call. I feel
power.
like
that's how I know I've still got it.
I feel like that's going to happen at some point today. You might as well get it out of the way with when the game's most likely already over. That being said, that was an interesting kickoff strategy. There is half a chance here for Bruno. Oh, he's got to the bar. But yeah, with that much time remaining, it had to just be a direct shot on target. But credit to them, they actually played for the win there with a pretty smart kickoff strat. Hasn't worked out, but Euphoria never giving up, even though they're trailing by a desperate position at the end of this one.
So I think we'll both agree here. Sort that defensive positioning out. Get that third man just a little bit deeper and more facing towards the play, because right now they are sort of hooking in just a little bit late and catching themselves into very, very awkward positions. However, standout here, same standout as we had yesterday. Jan looking fantastic. You don't want to give him a free first touch, because if he gets that, he is going to put you in a world of hurt. A fantastic double tap from him to get that 3rd goal for his team. As you mentioned earlier on, should have been a hat-trick. My goodness. This could have been a very, very interesting game if that first one went in from the own goal.
Yeah, looking back at it, Fassi definitely had a chance to get a touch on that, but I still think that Jan was probably dunking it in at the end of his air dribble, so yeah, should have been a hat-trick, but he got trolled a little bit there by Snipes. You got to do it. You've got to go for the goal steal. Oh, yeah. It's always the correct play. Credit to the full roster of Rebel. They've all done well here. They've all played confidently after losing yesterday in the upper bracket in that 4-0 sweep against Neutral.
Certainly so, and heading into game number 2, Euphoria just probably want to start cleaning this up. Same as yesterday, I think nerves have hit both teams quite heavily, and we just want that first hit of the ball to be nice and clean. Make sure you grab it. It's such an easy way out, especially with the rotation being as loose as it is right now. If you can just catch it on the half volley on the ball's way down, it's such an easy way to get the pressure away from you. But we'll see how Euphoria react, and Rebel have reacted by putting more goals against them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pan just, again, not making the right play as third man gets beaten to the ball here. And you got to know that that's a possibility. He cuts, he goes down the line after grabbing the boost. It's a dangerous play to be making when your team are going for a cheap kickoff. You got to turn back towards the goal there. And yeah, no diving in as well. Definitely not unless you're goal side. So just punish there. Astromik saw the opening and slammed the ball on target about as hard as he can from that position. But it's more just very lackluster third-man defense coming at Euphoria.
Euphoria will want to get themselves a goal that's a little bit closer to with time that they can play with. And has got Brunovisky up ahead, who looked for Astromik. He's danced around the demo. Wow. Gets himself a save. What a play.
Yeah, that was insane by Astromik. He never even looked like he was close to being demoed. He had the read on the demoing player perfectly and timed his move so well that he was able to get that touch on the ball straight away as soon as it came towards him. Now, soft rebound on target. It's still got the defense all over the place, and Euphoria just can't figure it out, Shogun. Whenever the ball's near their net, I think the monitors are just getting switched off. They're unplugging their controllers. Brunovisky's been chased into the net there. Gets a bad clear on the ball. No trust in Fassi. Yeah, it's just it's a communication issue, clearly.
Whatever it is, it needs sorting out. These best of sevens can feel quite long, but they can also get out of hand. And this is starting to look like it might be getting out of hand for them. Pan, flip, reset, didn't get the power afterwards. And now it's a counterattack. They've decided just to launch it long. Passy does well to get out of his side of the field. Now they got the pass. And they're already back. Passy goes for the back one more time. Not too sure I like that. They had Pan on the far side for an infield pass if they wanted it. And it's not like the infield passes have been all too well covered this weekend. And drops it. Snipes not having anything. No nonsense. Blast the ball long. See if you can get yourself a mistake. Now drops out. Astromic looks for net. Off the crossbar from the save. And then Pan puts it wide. Crucial to do that to keep themselves in the game. But Rebel are unrelenting at the moment. They look for number 3 and they're not going to get it just yet. Novisky has to get that challenge. He has managed to do well with it. Fassi clears. Now they got to look to control those. You know, it's not just enough to get that ball at your inside the field. You're already against the clock. You've got to get rid and you've got to be able to control the touch afterwards.
Some good saves coming in for Euphoria, and they're desperately needed. Third goal here makes it very difficult to come back against the team who are playing this
space.
well.
Please stop giving him space. He's too good.
They just can't keep up with him. You know, Jan's finesse in the air. We've got Astromic's ridiculous speed. I mean, this guy really does have a very clean liftoff for every single aerial. And Snipes, you know, he's still dominating, even though he's saving his teammates' shots. So this team really do look like they're in great form, Shogun. And I know Chimako's going to be delighted, predicting them to go all the way to that lower final. It looks a whole lot more likely now that we see that they can respond from yesterday's huge defeat with such dominant showing against Euphoria, who before now were undefeated in lower bracket.
Euphoria were looking fantastic in the lower bracket. They had a couple of overtimes, but like I said, didn't lose any of them. They've looked outclassed so far. Snipes. I'll beat Pan on the challenge. Gets himself a second one. That's some breathing room for the rest of his team, but he's got to have a follow-up. When you won 2 challenges like that, you need somebody helping you out because you're not beating a third. And again, looking to just try and guide this out of the blue side of the field, but it's not happening for them at the moment. Drumstick down off the post. Euphoria just not going to give anything up here, are they? They are very much stuck in this side of the field. Drops down to Astromic. It's in front of the goal line. This has just turned into a bit of an exhibition, really.
Yeah.
How good Rebel are doing at just holding on to this offensive push. It's got to go in eventually. And it will. Astromic makes it free. And Rebel have run roughshod over game number 2.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous. The amount of pressure that these guys have maintained for the second half of this game, it's got to be so demoralizing for Euphoria, who have cleaned up their defense. They've started to make some good saves, and they're clearing their lines. They're trying desperately to get out of their half, and Rebel are just giving them nothing. They're giving them no openings at all to work with. A really impressive pressure, to be honest. There's not really anything Euphoria can do when they're up against a Rebel team who are playing this well.
Last time we got to this point, we at least got a goal out of Euphoria. With the way Rebel are playing, it doesn't look like they'll even give them that. And it's fast on the far side, but there's just no space for them. And could have left that for Snipes. Trusts himself a little bit more to go for the pinch. Again, Fassy's clear, just right into the midfield. It becomes open and available for Rebel to keep that pressure going. Astromic unable to read the bounce. Now Pan with Brunovisky up in support. They didn't use the 2-man advantage.
Yeah.
Just panicked all the time. Euphoria seemed like they're just shocked that they even get time on the ball. And Rebel dominating game number 2. Euphoria still looking to get something. Maybe something on the highlight reel. Brunovisky maybe added a little bit too much flair to this play. Now Jan, with his opportunity, has got Astromic up in support. Jan just has oodles of confidence. He seems to be getting more and more happy to try and go for the individual plays as time has gone along. 10 minutes of gameplay down. Rebel have dominated all of those minutes.
Yeah, that was a stunning performance from Rebel. Really, really scary to see them playing this well. And it's just full credit to them for showing up in this kind of form on the day that is the most important day of the season so far. you know, for Euphoria, what a struggle. You know, game one, fair enough, we can just say, okay, obvious mistakes were made. If they can clean up their act, they're going to be fine. They're going to be okay. They're going to be competitive in the matchup. Now, that really doesn't look to be the case. Rebel completely crushed them here in game two. They couldn't get out of the half. They couldn't get away from their goal, despite several saves and soft clears being attempted.
Yeah, and sometimes mentally it's easier to bounce back from a game where you know you made a couple of mistakes and you just go, okay, we just don't do that again. We'll look better. That one, there wasn't the mistakes. You know, we had a couple of, you know, not great clears, some that hit the ceiling. You don't want to be hitting the things that bounce straight back down. But outside of that, there was nothing. That was just brilliant by Rebel. And there will be a couple of analysts that'll be looking at this performance and saying, I told you so.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm not so confident in my predictions anymore. As another defensive blunder came in for Euphoria early on in a game. Can't afford to make any of those. With how well Rebel just played in game two, we're going to need to see the best Euphoria we've seen all tournament long, just to keep this competitive. Even if they do play at their absolute best, I don't think they're winning this. Well, let's see, this is a good chance early on. Is it just in? It's not, and two players have missed it. Now Fasty's going to get a shot, but it's saved by Astromic. And that was a huge chance. All three players had an opportunity, and they couldn't get the goal.
It's now over to the other side of the field. Rebel won't be able to get there in time. Brunowski looks to give chase, but he's on 0 boost still. Bad touch. Back over to him. And it looks like the answer so far from Euphoria has been pace. They've given up on trying to hold themselves back. They're just going to try and outpace and go everywhere. That should have been on target. Brunowski looks to try and salvage the play. Fasty too far forward, though. He can't run onto the shot. And is it going to finally go in for them? No, it won't. It's a poor clear, however. They want to try and challenge it. They probably could have done so. Euphoria had the start that they wanted there. They didn't get the goal. And they might live to regret that.
What pass. Beautiful infield. Again, the perfect positioning from Rebel as they wait for these passes to get absolutely launched into the middle. Just pure confidence. That's all you see. Every time you watch any of the Rebel players moving around the field, they know at this point they can beat their men to the ball as Tromic, undefended at the back post, makes it 1-0. And Euphoria just can't keep up. They're getting beaten to every single loose ball, whether it's near the goal, in the midfield, in the orange half, doesn't matter. They're the second best.
And that was 2 or 3 half rotations. I'm not even going to call it, maybe it was a quarter rotation because they didn't even make it to the halfway line. It was just, I've got your boost, I'm turning. I know that this is going to get back over to me.
Yeah, just playing that very, very tight rotation style. And you got to do that, especially if you've got a boost starve going. There's no point backing off all the way. That just gives you the other team who you're trying to boost starve time to grab boost and to get back into the game. But there's just no time for Rebel in this one. As soon as they clear the ball, it's sent right back into their half. Now that's better. Fassi walks the ball out. So at least he's got it past one. Obviously the second player still sends it back in. This is more what they need to be doing. Taking 50-50s is always going to be a better outcome. Well, maybe not always, but it's most of the time going to be a better outcome. They're just doing a very, very soft clear over the top of one man.
And next contact will get rid. And more to your point there, Johnny, the 50-50 game, I feel, from Euphoria has actually been pretty good. They've come out of a few of those really well, especially when they try and use it to escape defense. It's the follow-up that gets me. They've got nobody around. It's like they just don't believe that it'll work. And that will be either down to just a lack of confidence on Euphoria or just how good Rebel have been where they don't even believe in it anymore.
Oh, dear.
Stromic. Just against Fassi, that drops all the way out to Brunowski. Just for himself to try and follow. He missed the 100 boost. Snipes back to the corner. Looks for the setup. It's going to be difficult to score. But Astromic has no issues.
Well, that is just disgusting from Snipes on the back wall. Completely sauces Pan as he comes across. Just takes him out of the air clean. And look at the confidence and the follow-up from Rebel. Full faith in it being pulled off. As soon as the bump came through, the shot followed it, and it's 2-0 once again. It's a dominating performance by Rebel. Can Pan put it in top corner? No! just a bit too high. That was a better try from them. Just not good enough.
And to just try and get it to the far corner. Maybe give his team a bit of space, but he just outpaced far too easily there by Yan. Astronomic with all three players around him. Realizes there's nobody around for me to pass to. I'm just going to keep it over here. Astronomic always missed it!
Okay.
And Fassi will latch on to the opportunity. Lead is cut in half.
Yeah, just a straight up whip. Now, Astronomic was going for a very slight touch on that so he could glancing blow into the midfield, try and pop it in that general direction. But yeah, when you go for a very soft touch, or a very slight touch, I should say, I mean, getting a very slight touch in that position doesn't have a small impact on the ball. It sends it flying, which is why he's going for it. But yeah, you might just miss. And when you do miss, it's incredibly dangerous. Now a chance for Euphoria to get something out of a series that looked completely impossible for them just moments ago.
I hope that one mistake at least adds a little bit of doubt to the minds of Rebel. I say that fully knowing that it probably didn't. Rebel don't know what doubt is right now. Yan launches for the backboard. No mistake this time. That's actually a very good clear. Fassi in field to Pan. Well intercepted. And now that leaves Brunevsky all by himself. Astronomic might have looked for the demo instead. Every member of too far forward. Almost caught on the counter. And again, he's got options. Right now, his favorite option has been himself. Astronomic looked to find the angle. He almost got it. But this has to go the whole length of the pitch now. We are going to see Euphoria make a game out of it. Astronomic drops it straight down. Rebel up, looking to complete the sweep.
And there's just very little life from the side of Euphoria. They got a chance here. They, had a close game thanks to Astromic's whiff in defense. Apart from that, they didn't really create all that much. They haven't had many opportunities to play with any kind of boost in the matchup. Rebel are just stealing everything, and that's allowing them to play at a far faster speed than Euphoria can keep up with. And even if Euphoria did have 100 boosts, if they're playing with unlimited boosts, it would still be a hard matchup to keep up with Rebel. Rebel are very, very quick to the ball. They're reading each other brilliantly. I mean, just the passing plays into the middle from them are being followed up on so quickly. I mean, no better example than the second goal that they scored here. Just brilliant from Astronomic.
The first goal that they scored, they were turning for that before the pass was even played. There was full belief this is going to get past all the defenders and we can just put it in. That is with nobody back. That is the third man making that decision, just saying, I don't need to go back. We can score. I don't need to defend if we score. And we can see the Ford F-150 at least helping out Euphoria here. Remains of their cars. We can get some brand new ones. Refueled, get themselves onto the field. And figure out what they can do to complete one of the most unlikely reverse sweeps we have seen. Rebel have been outstanding. Oh! And they are only getting better.
That is brilliant. We saw Snipes off the ball, getting a huge bump, and Pan gets completely fried. Not even close to keeping up with Yan. What a read. That wasn't even 100 boosts on the takeoff. He played it to perfection with his boost management.
I don't know what to say. Yan is a rising star, and he needs to be recognized as such.
It's a full team. I mean, they're all incredible. Really, really scary. Very impressive consistency as well from them. Look at this from Yan. I mean, to find this
and you've got to remember, this is a team that the desk was only saying their only problem is they fall apart in the big matches. They are a good performance away. One good tournament away from being a real threat.
Oh, yeah.
That's not something that sticks around forever. Oh, wait, Pan drops it.
Oh.
He needs someone to help him out of the team, but Astronomical to get it away. Snipes is there for another save. Off the backboard one more time. We don't know what the boost situation is like. Yan with enough. Just take himself from the backboard. Pan looks for himself over a double tap.
Oh, no.
And at least they're trying to have a go for themselves right now. Euphoria, another great start. They just couldn't turn it in.
Yeah, they're just unfortunately clearing the ball with all of their shots. Every shot is going off the far post, and that's a problem because it's very hard to follow up on those shots if they do hit the post. If you hit the post at the near post side, at least a teammate of yours can come in and rebound it. Or if you hit the crossbar, same thing. but their shots are just, they're going too far away. And obviously they're trying to hit that back of the net. Jan's going to show them how to. Of course he scored it. 2-0. Rebel look terrifying.
It wasn't even a hard prediction, I'm sorry. That's just a fact of life. Jan gets it, looks for the double tap. And unless you've got a car in front of it, that net is going to see a goal very, very soon. Jan gets himself a second. He's got 3.5 minutes to try and find his third. This team looks terrifying, and they have got a long, long road to go through today. We are not going to undersell that. They win this, they've still got to win at minimum 16 more matches, 16 more games, as Brunovisky is going to leave it. Okay.
I thought he was going to, at least go for a goal seal on this one, not even securing it. But, he's feeling generous.
You could have done with the extra second, I'm not going to lie.
Gives it to Fassi, maybe trying to lift the spirits here. It's Euphoria, they just need something. They need anything, just to make the series look a bit more respectable. They've been completely flattened by Rebel in this matchup. They haven't had a chance to get their offense rolling. And at the same time, Rebel haven't really been tested defensively because they've outplayed Euphoria so much in the midfield. But yeah, they haven't really had to do much in defense. They have, they've had a few good saves, but I reckon they're going to be tested a lot more later on in the tournament. That's going to be the real test for Rebel. They look fantastic against Euphoria, but are they going to look good when they're put on the back foot? As I'm sure some
I think that might be everyone gone.
Oh, it is. Han walks it in, and it's now a much, much more interesting game. Demo plays coming in clutch for Euphoria. They're back in it.
3 demos caused 3 explosions, but there was only one that mattered there. That was the goal explosion to make this 2 each. Half the game done now. And Euphoria breathing at least a little bit alive, but Estromic, what a dunk that was! Somehow kept out. They've got to get another one. They can't do it. Jan has got the hat trick.
It was inevitable. Jan was going to get his third goal at some point here. And it was so close to being a safe clear there from Pan. He almost had that going past the post. Unfortunately, it's hit the post flush and it's gone middle. And yeah, Jan's not missing in this game. Every single shot he takes is threatening everything. A single shot looks like it's going to be a goal. Maybe even the double hat trick on the cards here.
Stromek thinks he deserves one. Couldn't quite grab the reset, and it was going to probably be blocked anyway. Here is Snipes, back over to Jan. Fassi. Oh, he's actually got it over to Pan. Stromek will be by himself, turns onto it. Always gives his team a little bit of room. Game is not done just yet. Still only 1 goal between them. Jan is constantly, it seems like, at supersonic speed. He is not slowing down for anything right now.
Yeah,
that's what Euphoria need, is to get locked into their side of the field again.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening to them right here. They just can't get out. And they think that they've got a free ball, and suddenly, or a player from Rebels flying into a weird position. That is it. So, Han equalizes the game, and that was just a shot that the last man didn't see coming. As Stromic turns away from it, and Snipes didn't get a good touch on it. Jan slowed down, had no coverage of the goal. So, it hasn't been pretty from Euphoria, but they've got the job done. They're in a game here. Can they put one on the board? Can they at least get something against Rebel? Make a series out of this.
Jan does avoid at least the bump there from Brunovisky. Over the top, infield to Snipes. Well shut down there by Fassi. Like to see that slightly more proactive attempt at defending there from the team. Now Fassi looks to take it by himself. Far too heavy on the first touch, but it wasn't a great clear. Oh, and speaking of which, that's a miss to Stromic. Oh, double miss! And Brunovisky bails the team out, but they are still in trouble. It looks like it's just a moment away. Rebel couldn't capitalize on the mistakes, and now it's on target from Brunovisky! Euphoria have got themselves in the lead.
That is a huge play by Fassi to land outside of the net here as he makes that diving save is such a difference. If he hits the post with his car, he's out the game. It's Rebel's offensive play once again. But because he's recovered so quickly there, he sticks to the ball, gets an infield pass off a dunk, and now here comes Fassi all by himself, 5-3. Euphoria on the board again and again in game 4.
What on earth is Snipes doing here? He is completely misread that play. Got himself too far forwards. Realized he was never going to get to it. And now Euphoria have got themselves a cushion. 40 seconds left. And avoid being swept here and potentially start that previously mentioned very unlikely reverse sweep. But hey, has to start somehow. Snipes would like for it to not start at all, however.
Oh.
And that makes up for the previous goal conceded.
So can they hold on? It's going to be tough. You already know Rebel are going to throw everything at them. Rebel have been throwing everything at Euphoria, regardless of the scoreline. Now that they're trailing in the final few seconds, I would really be surprised if we see any Rebel players in defense when this clock hits 0. They're all just going to be up there. They're probably all going to be airborne. Snipes tries to pop a middle, but didn't quite get there. Or is rather,
as you mentioned that, Johnny, there was already 3 players in the blue side of the field.
Yeah, they're going to go for this. Here they come again. Stromic, air dribbles up high. Now, can he get this on target? It's going to be dropped down towards Jan. He's going to go high over the top of the last man. Pan is alone at the back. It is on the goal line. Nobody there to put it in. Is anyone going to get a shot on target? It's just off the post. Oh, my goodness. Rebel were so close, but Euphoria survived.
And Euphoria, in the scrappiest of fashions, have managed to hold on to the heartbeat. They're still in it. Still got to do this 3 more times. But from Rebel, they will know that this was a significant drop-off from their own standards here. A lot of defensive mistakes that they cannot afford to make. Not only in future rounds should they make it, but you can't do it against a team like Euphoria, especially with their backs to the wall. They know they've got to go for the chances. You're not going to get the same Euphoria that started off this series quite tentatively with their chances. Instead, you're going to get Euphoria that can score goals like that one.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Euphoria get a game here. They've just been so stuck in defense, and they've just not been able to show us kind of exciting plays that they can put up. And this is now a chance for them to make something out of this series. Rebel have been playing super confidently, and it might be the thing that comes back to bite them if they end up, going a bit too hard for this. They might be thinking, okay, yeah, Euphoria got 1 game. Let's just completely smoke them in this last one. Get it over with 4-1. And that kind of mentality, when when your opponents have finally got a foothold in a series, it can end up backfiring. So let's find out: will Rebel be able to show maturity here? Will they show that they can, sit back and defend? Because that's something we haven't seen from them today. They're just going all guns blazing.
You say all of that, I'm sure their actual strategy was just, all right, let's not defend. We didn't attack enough that time. That's clearly the problem. We only scored 4. Let's score 8. And Jan, well, he'll look to try and start off his tally here. Oh my goodness, Jan!
That is incredible. Jan started this double touch from his own box. He took off from his own goal, and he made it there with boost to spare. That is just incredible efficiency. So fast. Jan smashes in another stunning goal. Absolutely no problem so far in the Rebel camp from losing game 4.
Jan had that goal scored about 3 seconds before he scored it. You could see him twisting in the edges going, do I want to put it from this angle? Is this one going to look pretty good? Like, it was just umming and ahhing over how he wanted to put that one in. Incredible performance offensively there. This one, however, goes into question of Stromic's defensive skills, and he was more than happy to try and pass that test. Brunowski. Listen, Snipes, he's missed it. Too far forward again. Strong's cleared directly into Brunowski. Now over the top of another. They're going to require a save. Fassi just plays it to himself off the backboard. Great control from him. Euphoria are adamant that they are not going to get stuck in their own final third again. They've seen that life. They didn't like it. Jan just plays it to himself. He's got the boost for the flip reset. He does find it. Almost got the setup as well for Snipes. That pressure will still be on. Jan turns. And I want to point out, Jan turned with free boost.
Of course, yeah. He's turning no matter. You can turn with nothing there. He's thinking, of course I can score this. I might as well give it a go. It's been one of those days for Rebel, for Jan in particular, especially in the tail end of this series. But Euphoria need to respond quickly here. Do they have a chance of a comeback? You know, I believe in the individuals on this team. They're all solid players, but if they're going to keep the reverse sweep alive, they need to keep Rebel on the back foot. You know, it was when they finally got Rebel in defense that the mistakes started to come in the last game. They've got to try and do that again.
Oh, it's not a great clear, and it's going to leave Brunoviski, who bails them out.
Wow.
What a save. And one that was desperately needed. Fassi, though, bumps Pan out of midair. A lot of miscommunications here from Euphoria, who keep colliding into each other. Yan takes it away from Snipes. Everyone seems very confident in their own individual abilities across the field, but maybe it's time to start allowing others to do something. Pan's going to take his chance. Snipes shut it down. Fassi looks to try and put that one on target. 2 minutes left here. Early challenge there from Brunoviski, who is starting to turn into the leading light for this team. Now Pan pass over to Fassi. Has to put it off the backboard. That's going to bounce very awkwardly. And they needed a follow-up. I'm running out here for Euphoria. And they need to take chances like that in the future. They also need to not concede from this. Yan pre-jumps it. Look to get the shot on target. He's already got 2 players out, though. Astromic wants to just get it past Pan, but won't happen for him. Oh, that's again not a great clear. It's out to Astromic. You can't hand it over to him like that, or he will make you pay.
Yeah, that's just too easy. Rebel, like you said, they've not needed help creating threatening chances, but they get some help there from Bruno, who got a completely missed touch in the back corner. And now they are playing this on ultra hard mode. They were able to come back from 2 down in the last game, but they did have more time than they do right here. Han might have an option here. Jan's not going to give it to him. Still, pressure for Euphoria. Can they make something happen? They're just beaten to the ball so often. It must be frustrating.
Snipes looks to try and finish this series off. He's shut down. Yan wants to add at least 1 more to his tally of highlight reel goals. Just wants the next top 3 to be all about him. Pan all the way out. There's nobody around there for his team. 50 seconds on the clock. Shut down by Brunoviski. Snipes. We'll get it past Pan 1 more time. Here's the layoff over to Astromic. No real power on the shot. Do have infield options should they want to take them, but immediately shut down. Just couldn't hook the car around the ball just enough. And that time is already into the final half of a minute. Euphoria looking like they're going to be out of this here. If they're going to get anything out of this series, Brunoviski has to create something, and he wasn't quite able to reach the ball. And with that, Rebel seem to have done enough. Off the backboard, here comes Snipes. Won't go for the immediate shot. Instead, just try to fake out a challenge. But Brunoviski to his side, and it will be Rebel moving on. At the desk earlier on saying that might even make it to the grand finals. We will be able to see throughout the rest of the broadcast whether or not that prediction will come true. But what a performance it was from them. Dominating Euphoria.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Rebel looked terrifying in offense, and they did play a very disciplined game here, like we were, asking them to do. They didn't completely throw everything forward. They were making sure to leave a 3rd man back because they got respect for Euphoria. They were smashing Euphoria today, but Euphoria were on a good streak coming into today in the lower bracket. They were, 6 games, 6 wins. You've got to respect that kind of momentum that they clearly have the potential to do. But yeah, pretty early on in this series, all the momentum for Fassi, Bruno, and Pan petered out, and they just couldn't compete with what was, a brilliant performance by Rebel.
Yeah, it certainly was. And you want that sort of performance at the start of the day, because it's a long day in this lower bracket. You've got to win this one. You've got 2 more wins to get through, just to get through to the grand final, which you've got a bracket reset against probably the best team in the region. So it's a very, very difficult day, and you want to get through that first stage as quickly and as easily as possible. And Rebel seem to have done exactly that. Now we need to find out who they are going to be playing in the next round. As coming up after the break, we've got Noble against PDHM.